I've been standing up to bullies since I was 8 years old. This is nothing new to me. Back in 1995 on the East Coast, battle after battle. Some of them we won, some of them we lost.
I have a real problem, Mr. Allen and Mr. Weitz or any other board member who wants to vote for a $55,000 piece of paper that says Donna Mengel did it when there is no smoking gun. Side of that, as far as protests or arguments or screaming or hollering, is purely detrimental to this community. We need peace.
All right, let's just go with my Arizona track record. Do the Google on Wally Clump. I'm the only guy I know of who stood up to a federal judge for what was right because of the lies that were being told about Wally Clump as the government was trying to seize his land. I'm the only one who stood up to a congressman by the name of Jim Colby who lied and lied and lied. And now I've got the local newspaper lying about me over and over and over again. The lines could not be clearer. I cannot. This is a David and Goliath fight. And as far as this personal battle goes with this lawsuit, it's not about us. It's literally about righting a wrong in our police department. Our police department has a vein of cancer in it, the Sarita Police Department. For whatever reason, I guess, maybe God's called me to help bring light to that situation. I don't know. But this is truly a David and Goliath. I've got the city of Sarita against me. I've got 2 town council members, at least 2, who claim to be Christians who won't lift a finger. They won't even look into this matter. They're so afraid of the administration who actually work for them. It's pathetic. Those 2 people, they're happy to take your votes. Oh yeah, they'll go to your church and they'll tell you they're Christians, and maybe they are. But where's the fruit? My goodness, I can't even get an attorney. In the entire state of Arizona, nobody will fight this mafia. So I'm left to raise $50,000 to $70,000 in court costs and legal fees. You say, well, you don't have a lawyer. No, I don't have a lawyer. If you are a lawyer or you know one in Arizona that can take our case at the federal level, get in touch with us, because this is truly a David versus Goliath moment. So we've got to raise $50,000 to $70,000. Why? Because the only advice we're getting is from an attorney who will not put in our representation for me. He won't represent us, but at least he's advising us, and he's been keeping us alive and keeping us afloat. We've got a major, major hurdle to overcome, and without $50,000 to $70,000, we'll probably lose. And that's okay. It's not about the winning. It's about the fight. There's corruption, and it's deep. If you don't take care of your own where you live, then where are you going to do it? I do what I can here. Jim Colby, Wally Clump. You know, I've worked with the best. Jerry Falwell, Charles Stanley, Tim and Bev LaHaye. And it's not like I did photo ops with them. I actually worked with these people. And so it's not like in the old days when the newspapers would just give the liberal leftist slant on everything. This newspaper, of course, does that. At least the one reporter does. Anyway, so I've got the city council against me. I've got the local newspaper against me. And I've got the leftists who hate what we're doing. Why? Because we're reaching the lost with the gospel of Jesus Christ. That's what this is about. Since 8th grade, I've been standing up against bullies. I'm not going to stop now. Today, it's costing my entire reputation. I'm okay with that. I'm doing this for the Lord. It's all about the truth, and He will set you free. I pray you can help us by either sending this to your friends and raising the awareness of our story, maybe helping us raise those funds, or sending us a check if you would. Either way, it's a win-win for the Lord. Thanks. God bless. Why didn't I open the door? And what's the city doing? Rather than exposing the truth and fixing it, they're spending, I'm guessing, $1 million trying to get my case thrown out.
You guys can't tell me why the hell you guys are here at night?
That's bad enough, but the most shocking thing about this is that an entire group of police officers thought that they were all entitled to just barge into this guy's house and handcuff him without a warrant. Every government employee from top to bottom who is responsible for this must be held accountable.
Since we've been attacked. From now on, I'm simply going to call them leftists, because that's who is ruining this country. That's who's ruining our country in Portland. And that same mentality, that same spirits, those same evil spirits are at work. And you know, I've taught this for many years. All this starts in the spirit world and then comes out through willing dolts like the leftists and even some people that call themselves Christians. Let me read to you what I wrote 20 years ago. I never cease to be amazed at how, even though I wrote that book 20 years ago, how much of it has either come true, is coming true, or ended up being true. However, there are a growing number of law enforcement officers at the local and federal level who do not act in good faith, but rather from the end justifies the means mentality. Many in law enforcement today are driven by no other motive than the belief that they are the good guys, and therefore any and all opposition to their zeal must have its origin in a bad guy.
It's heartbreaking video. A 73-year-old woman with dementia is pushed to the ground and arrested. She weighs just 80 pounds and she's injured.
On April 9th, 2023, an unidentified individual called 911 claiming to have overheard a verbal argument and a crashing sound from inside the Pima County, Arizona home of Pastor Stephen Aiken and his wife, Deborah Aiken. According to Mr. Aiken, this call was a false complaint made by a disgruntled former contract employee as an attempt to, quote-unquote, swat him. Sergeant Oscar Frugi and Officer Zachary Woodrow of the Sahuarita Police Department responded to the call, and were later joined by Sergeant Eric Heath and Lieutenant Juan Zamora. The interaction that followed was captured on the officer's body-worn cameras.
Nobody's life's in danger, nobody's in trouble, everybody's fine. I'm telling you that.
Yeah, you're telling me that, but I don't know who else is back in there.
Of course, I understand.
Okay, well, you did this job, too. You're a retired cop. Where are you from?
You have no PC. There's no problem here.
Well, I don't know that. Well, I feel a lot better if I could talk to somebody else in there, besides your story.
You can wait. If somebody shows up, you're happy to talk to them, but I can't help you.
Now I'm standing there. You know, they see my hands the whole time. Why didn't I open the door? Now we're standing there. And these idiots come up to me and say, your wife's not answering the phone. Now, I should have laughed at them and shut the door right there. This is how stupid these cops were in this case. You understand? The newspaper, the city council, these two council members who claim to be Christians, they're all burying their head in the sand because nobody wants to fix the problem. And when you're afraid of your own police department, when you're afraid of your own police chief, there's a serious problem in this community, and I'm not going to back away from it. Chief, what the hell are you doing? Are you kidding me? Chief! So we went from, who's in the house? We know your wife's in the house. Can we talk to her? To me standing there, to them calling her and saying she's not answering the phone. Now, remember, this whole case, the police case, is based on what they call exigent circumstances. The police lieutenant, the sergeant, they're all claiming, we didn't know, somebody's life could have been in danger. At this point, it's my wife. So, okay, they're calling my wife, she's not answering. You know why she's not answering? Because she's in bed, maybe asleep at this point, I don't know for sure. She was heavily medicated. She's in bed asleep, and the phone's ringing. Now I'm standing there. I should have, at that point, everything in me wanted to just, forgive my language, just say, you dumbasses. This is the stupidest thing. You're standing there, there's a piece of glass between us, me and this Sergeant Frug, and he says, your wife's not answering. I said, I know. Phone's in the kitchen, I can hear it ringing. Whoa, whoa, whoa. And then I tell him, because I wanted to see how stupid, I mean, I'm literally at this point, even though I'm groggy, I'm half asleep, I'm shining a light on the irony. I'm shining the light on the ridiculousness of what they're doing. So I finally said, look, unless I take it to her, she's not going to answer the phone. Sergeant Fruge, you can see, he didn't scratch his head, but might as well have. This was seriously Keystone Cops, Three Stooges time now.
Can they come up to the door? Can they come up to the window? Please?
I'm not disconnecting all of her fluids. Just to wheel her out.
Oh, so she's on oxygen. Your wife is? Okay.
Despite Mr. Aiken repeatedly telling the officers that his wife was bedridden with a serious medical condition and insisting they leave his property, the officers informed Mr. Aiken that they would not leave until they could make contact with Mrs. Aiken. In response, Mr. Aiken provided the officers with his wife's phone number in an attempt to avoid having to get her out of the bed. However, once the officers reached Mrs. Aiken on her cell phone, they were able to convince her to come to the door themselves.
Is there any way that you can walk to the front door window just so we can see you and see that you're in good physical condition? As far as, you know, you don't have to open the door necessarily, but as long as we can see you.
Sure, I'm in my pajamas.
Hey, I've seen everything. You're just fine.
Cruz, I'm calling 3 times, no answer.
You can't get out of bed.
Okay, shoot. Where's her phone at? Is it ringing? Okay.
Hey, I'll take it to her.
You'll take it to her? Well, no one knows what to decide. They can bring her their phone? All right. Yeah, go ahead.
All right, why didn't I open the door? If you're still with me, it gets better. So now I go and I get my wife's cell phone. I turn the bedroom on, the light in the bedroom, and I kind of rustle my wife out of bed and wake her up, and yeah, disconnect her. This is, you see how intrusive and how invasive this is? They haven't even come in my house, and they're still disrupting. Now, you might say to yourself, well, they had a reason to. They had to make sure that she was okay. All right, fine. We'll get to that part. Exigent circumstances. There were no exigent circumstances. What they did was absolutely illegal. What they've done so far in my story, no. But it gets worse. So now, one of the officers speaks to my wife on the phone. And you can hear it clearly. Just want to make sure you're okay. Yeah, I'm okay. I've been sick. I don't know how many times my wife says she's been sick. She is in congestive heart failure, and we don't know. Do you see how appalling some of the behavior gets when it comes to intruding into your lives?
It begins with a routine traffic stop, but things start to escalate when the 65-year-old granny at the wheel won't sign the $80 ticket for having a broken taillight.
You don't want to sign it? All right.
That's all you want.
Go ahead, step out of the car.
Why?
Because you're under arrest. Step out.
He approaches with his gun drawn. Then things turn really ugly.
Put your hands behind your back.
We're not standing up to these guys for us. We may lose this lawsuit, we may lose it all, but we're not going to stop. Because there are some thugs in the Sarita Police Department, and they need to get weeded out. And if our own government won't do it, then the citizens of Sarita and Southern Arizona need to get to it. I didn't ask for this fight. I'd much rather be preaching the gospel. But many of you have asked the question, so I promised you I'd tell you why I didn't open the door. Now you're starting to see. My poor wife, who is in congestive heart failure, is in bed talking to a police officer, says, "Are you okay?" "Yes, I'm very okay." Now it goes from, "Oh, okay, well, now we can't just, we just can't take your word for it. You need to come to the door."
Can they come up to the door? Can they come up to the window?
You hear the officer say, "You don't have to come out necessarily. Just lie after lie after lie." And I knew it. So, when I took her the phone, I said, "It's the police. They want to make sure you're okay." What? I mean, she was in shock. I'll play the conversation if I haven't already. And you'll hear very clearly, you don't have to come out necessarily, just have to make sure you're okay. I'm okay. Just come to the door, let us make sure she's okay. She comes to the door and she waves. She doesn't want to talk to anybody. She's a woman. Sick as she is, she still has the same concerns as any woman I know who gives a rip about how cares about their self or has even an ounce of self-esteem. They make my wife get out of bed. She comes in the hallway and waves at him. She's a woman. Now, just coming to the door and seeing that she's fine, not good enough. You see why I didn't open the door? They never stop. And this is the mentality of police across the country.
Ticket, the driver seems to tap the back of his hand on the officer's chest, and that's when the officer throws him down
Get on the ground.
and handcuffs him.
Yeah, I'm good.
If the citizens of this country cannot hold the police and its chief and his underlings accountable, then there is no accountability. This is why I'm so upset with the two people on the board who claim to be Christians, who are acting spinelessly. They're happy to take our votes so that they can they're happy to take the Christian community's votes so that they can get on the seat, but they won't lift a finger to help you, and they won't lift a finger to help me. I told you, you can count on one finger the amount of pastors that have come and even checked in on Deborah and I to see if we're okay. That's all right. The Lord is our provider. And so why I didn't open the door?
This is my house. Ma'am.
Newly released security video. This is posted by that local Kansas newspaper, Marion County Record. And what you're looking at is police raiding the home of that paper's 98-year-old co-owner and the mother of the editor of the paper, Joanne Meyer. She collapsed and died the day after the raid.
Don't you touch any of that stuff. This is my house.
Now she's at the door and she's trying to explain to him she's sick. She's in heart failure. Try to put yourself in her place. These guys will not go away, and they've got guns.
Is there any way that you can walk to the front door window just so we can see you and see that you're in good physical condition as far as, you know, you don't have to open the door necessarily, but as long as we can see you.
It's okay, you're fine. Hey, miss, come here. I'd like to chat with you. Miss, can I have you please open the door so I can chat with you separately, and then we can just go home? We can get out of here. I can't hear you.
I don't want to see anybody in the house.
Okay. I know, and I'm sorry, I really don't want to bother you, but the thing is I have to check up on you, and I have to make sure that everybody's okay. Okay, and you know, and truthfully, I don't feel comfortable with the way you're talking to me right now, and the only reason is because I can't, you may want to tell me something away from him, and you can't do that right now because he's standing around the corner. He's behind the corner. He turned to the left.
That's my Bible.
Okay. Could you please open the door so I can just chat with you? You're not what?
I'm not scared of my husband, but I'm scared.
She pleads with them, go away. She tells them, I'm not afraid of my husband. I even end up walking away because I knew that absent autonomously determining that she was okay. In other words, if I was looming over her shoulder, whispering in her ear, telling her what to say or doing anything like that, then they weren't going to be satisfied. So I decided for my wife's sake to walk away. I go to another part of the house, and that's when Sergeant Frew gets real secret. Come here. You might be wanting to tell. This is insane. Do you understand the insanity that's going on here? If you don't see it, you're probably part of the problem. This has got to stop. Why I didn't open up the door? Because I knew exactly what was going to happen. The minute we cracked open that door, they probably were going to grab her by the arm and yank her out of the house. I promise you. This is how much I believe this to be true in my heart, because this is what they do. They would have grabbed her and yanked her out. And my wife's, if you ever watch how I help my wife get out of a seat or get down a seat, she's very brittle. And so we have to take care. And so I knew this. And you see some of it on the tape. They jerked her out of the house anyway. Cuffed me up. I'm surprised they didn't throw me down on the floor, because that's what they do. They have to take control. They have to win at any cost. If it means trampling your rights, they don't care. Did you see what that lieutenant did to my wife? He was a sergeant at the time, but did you see what that lieutenant did to my wife when she tried to go in her own bedroom?
I don't want him in my bedroom. Get out of my bedroom, please.
I can't have you go in there. Okay.
That's my bedroom.
That's okay. Yes. Photos at this point.
The bedroom?
Yes.
Where I sleep?
What is that but macho? Bullcrap. Ego. And it's turned into thuggery in the Sarita Police Department, starting with Chief Nolan. Did you know that I wrote Chief Nolan a letter? As a pastor, I tried to reach out to him. This is where the local newspaper was trying to kill me. He only gets $1. No. That's not what the judge said. Well, at any rate, we just got a bad ruling, and the leftists and the newspaper, they're salivating. Oh, listen, we may end up losing this case.
parents, and the house was quiet and orderly when they arrived. Now, because there was no apparent evidence supporting an ongoing present emergency, it is unlikely that a court would conclude that the officers had the authority to enter the home over Mr. Aiken's objections.
Yes, so we have the tool to open the door. Okay?
Let her see it first. We gotta go. We got ecstasy. We gotta move now that we got the right tools. Last warning.
Look, last warning. You gotta open up. Last warning.
I'm gonna kill off that ring.
Okay, you guys got a stack? Okay.
Lieutenant, on you.
Can I come outside?
Yes, you can come outside if you do it right now. 100%. We're not going to take you away.
All right, let's move.
If you can please open the door.
Move. They're both there. Breach. Move, Oscar. Move.
Are you kidding me? Put that.
Put your hands where we can see them. Put your hands where we can see them.
She has a medical condition on her license.
Sir, put your hands where we can see them right now.
So it went from, we have to make sure that everybody in the house is okay. Oh, hi, Mrs. Aiken. Just come to the door. Everything will be fine. You don't have to come out necessarily. I'm sick. I'm not afraid of my husband. No. Just come out because there might be something that you have to. What? They don't stop. And I knew this. Why I didn't open the door? Because I didn't commit any crime. Why I didn't open the door? Because there was no crime here. Why I didn't open the door? Because the redcoats, in this case our local police, have no reason to trample all over my rights, all over my wife's rights, as sick as she was, making her sicker. And what's the city doing? Rather than exposing the truth and fixing it, they're spending, I'm guessing, $1 million. Yeah, we've lost a recent ruling recently. The judge said that we're not allowed, the judge said that Deborah can't be in the case anymore, trying to get my case thrown out. Somebody's got to look into how much. And the attorney for the defense is being paid our tax dollars. It's demonstrably nauseous. But nobody cares. Sit there and take our votes as a Christian on the Sarita School Board, but don't lift a finger to even look into the truth, to even peel back the onion, to even peel back the curtain. You have the ability. What do you think Mordecai said to Esther? Maybe you're there for such a time as this. For crying out loud, the corruption in the Sarita Police Department is the worst I've seen, and I've been a part of the Philadelphia police entity. At a local level in southern Arizona, this is serious police corruption. So no, we're not going to go away. And no, I'm not going to open up my door. Neither should you. So once they yanked my wife out of I'm surprised they didn't cuff her. Once they yanked my poor wife out of the door, they cuffed me up, take me out in my underwear. Why didn't I open the door? Because I knew all of this was going to happen. I used to be one of them. I'm not talking in a vacuum. I'm not talking in a theory. We're real people. Yeah, we're probably going to lose this case, and the leftists are salivating at that possibility. Shame on them. All I'm asking you to do is send this story out to all your friends. Help us get the word out. Maybe help us fight this thing as best as we can, because we're not going to give up. Think about this. Your 69, 70-year-old wife at the time, who was in congestive heart failure. We didn't know it, but we knew she was sick. She's in bed, she's hooked up to her machines, she's got her oxygen, she's got all her monitors on. And some local yokels come and banging on my door insisting, who's in the house? None of your business who's in the house.
This is my house. Don't you touch any of that stuff. This is my house.
That's why. Why didn't I open the door? Because this is my house. It's called the Castle Doctrine. My wife and I have a right to live our retirement years in peace, or any way that we want. In our case, it's sharing the gospel. In their mind, putting this scumbag away. In this case, in my book, I was talking about drug dealers, but right now I'm talking about me. In their mind, putting this scumbag away becomes more important than playing by the very same rules they are supposed to uphold. We cannot have police crashing in people's front doors. Unfortunately, this behavior is not limited to bending the rules. Sometimes sworn police officers outright lie.
You don't have to open the door necessarily, but...
She has a medical condition on her license.
Sir, put your hands where we can see them right now.
That's why. God bless you. We'll see you soon. There you go. God and country. That's what it's all about. Don't be spineless. Help us. Send this out to everyone you know. We appreciate it. God bless.
Part of our job is
Okay.
taking
Will I be
photographs.
able to go sleep tonight?
Yeah, absolutely. This is part of our job to either prove a crime did or did not happen.
There's no crime.
And we had an independent witness that said they heard screaming coming from your house.
That's great.
And they described your house to a T.
So?
And that's why we're here.
What's that got to do with anything?
I'm explaining why we broke your door.
Well, yeah, I was standing right there, and you knew I was standing there.
Okay.
And you guys hurted me. I'm going to have a bruise tomorrow on my arm. I know that.
Okay.
All right, I don't want you in my bedroom. I saw a guy walk out of my bedroom when I was having a heart attack. So I was able
Literally.
to, yeah, I got up. And these two big police officers got in front of me. They're already in your bedroom. Then two walked in there, and I said, well, I don't want them in my bedroom. But they practically pushed me back. Now, these two guys, like, walked me back. They were like, I'm trying to get to the bedroom, and they literally stopped me. They were forcing me not to go in my own room and sit back down again.
No, hold on, miss.
I don't
Miss,
want
hold
him
on,
in
miss.
my bedroom. Get
Okay,
out of my
miss.
bedroom, please.
I can't have you go in there. Okay.
That's my bedroom.
That's okay. We have to take photos at this point.
Of the bedroom?
Yes, yes.
Where I sleep?
And he fronted her. He's 6'2". She's 5 foot nothing. I couldn't believe.